What's up, guys? Welcome to Among the Fence, my YouTube channel where I do music reviews. My name is Aaron, and on today's review, we're going to be checking out the new album, Closure, by the band Attila. I figure I might as well go ahead and just get this review out of the way, because if I don't, I'm sure it's going to be requested like 100 times by you guys for Request Wednesday. Speaking of which, if you have anything you want to review, go ahead and leave a comment below letting me know what it is, and it'll be featured on an upcoming Request Wednesday. And if you do that, or you just happen to like what you see here and you enjoy reviews on metalcore and deathcore, even just heavy metal and hardcore and death metal bands, I'd like to encourage you to subscribe and ring the bell icon. That way you don't miss out on any of my future reviews, especially if you leave a request for Request Wednesday, because sometimes people they leave a request and they never come back, which is just sad. The metalcore band from Atlanta, Georgia is back with their 9th studio album since 2005. I had no idea that they had so many albums. Admittedly, I'm not that big of a fan of this band. If you've seen any of my reviews on them in the past, you would obviously know that I'm not really that big of a fan of their vocalist, Franz. But at the same time, I always like to give people a chance. I always like to give bands a chance. Even if I don't like their past stuff, I've fallen in love with some newer albums that bands have put out. So I'm hoping that maybe Closure might do that too. The album starts off with the song Anxiety, where he basically goes over all the symptoms of having anxiety, like a heavy chest, pins and needles kind of thing, and he expresses how much he hates it and how he struggles with this never-ending war going on inside of his mind, which is something we could all basically relate to. The song starts off with what's basically a breakdown, and the verse is fantastic. I mean, it's nice and heavy, the vocals sound great, but after that, the song kind of deteriorates. The chorus is just okay. It has some kind of chanty lyrics in there, and then there's like this Korn style vocal breakdown thing that happens. The outro is fantastic, and the lyrics aren't overly cringy. It's just, I mean, it's a solid song, not gonna lie. I didn't absolutely hate this song. The song Empty Clip starts out with some turntable action. The guitar riff is nice and chuggy, and it sounds good, but the verse is basically ruined by the vocals, and then the chorus sounds good, but the lyrics kind of ruin that. This song is like the ultimate bro song. It's like a bro down. And the music, including the guitar solo, is all enjoyable. It's mostly just the lyrics and the vocals that kind of kill this song. And then Broken Happy is kind of like the sequel to Empty Clip. The verse has some neat galloping groove to it. There's some weird lyrical things that happen again. In the first verse, there's some fake coughing that goes on. There's a whoa yeah in the post-chorus, and then the third verse is like a hip-hop thing that, I mean, it doesn't sound bad, it's just executed poorly, mainly in the vocals. I don't know why Franz always goes to a vocal fry every single time he does cleans. It's like he can't just do clean. He just starts talking like this, and this is how he talks throughout all of the hip-hop parts. It just ruins it completely. I don't know why he does that. Metalcore Mansion. Attila, bitch. Woo! That's literally how the song starts off, which kind of tells you how it's going to go. I do enjoy the melody throughout this song, though. The verse is kind of reminiscent of ICP, and the chorus sounds good thanks to that melody, but I mean, it's just barely. The lyrics ruin it. They're just absolutely trash in this song. And then you have the song Day Drinking, which starts out with another woo in the intro, but it does have a really solid groove to it that dies off once we get to the first verse. And this song is kind of like ICP meets Kid Rock. It's about getting drunk and sending your ex-wife text messages because you want to have sex. I mean, it's a real winner. I will say that the guitar solo is kick-ass, though. G Squad starts out with this Korn scat kind of vocal thing that drops into another hip-hop section where it talks like this again for some strange reason. And the lyrics say, "You can't stop the heat, bitch. My flow is an oven," which is an absolute killer lyric. The bridge just chants G Squad over and over and over and over and over again. He talks about how he came from nothing, and then he refers to other people as peasants. I mean, his ability to lack self-awareness, it's just powerful. It's a very powerful trait that he has that it's pretty unbelievable. Then you have a song like Viva Las Vegas, where it starts out with this sound bite where an incident happened at one of their concerts. He told a reporter that he didn't want an interview because, quote, snitches get stitches. And then in Viva Las Vegas, he goes on to describe literally everything that happened in that incident. Again, his ability to lack self-awareness, it is just his most, it's unbelievable. It is unbelievable how powerful that is for him. The song Shots for the Girls basically objectifies basic white girls with like White Claws, margaritas, bottomless mimosas, and even calls them thoughts. He invites them to leave their boyfriends at home because they were never that important anyways. I mean, just when you didn't think that Franz could get any worse, you hear this song and he manages to get worse. Then you have a song like Canceled, which came out in like May of 2020. I completely forgot that this song was going to be on this album because it's been over a year since we heard it. I gave this song a 1.5 when it first came out, and I reviewed it, and I still hold to that very, very much. It has very cringy lyrics like, I don't want to hear that smack, I don't roll like that. Music has some good dissonance to it, but again, the lyrics and the vocals are just bad. The closing track, Clarity, has some pretty solid music, specifically the drum work. The vocals kind of mess up that moment though. Surprisingly, the lyrics aren't completely awful. It's about people bringing him down verbally and just talking really bad about him, but he isn't going to let it get to him because he knows his own self-worth, which honestly is a pretty dang good message. He doesn't let these things affect him. If you can get past the verses, this is a pretty solid song. I just don't like his vocal choices of like the whole ICP thing that he has going on, specifically throughout like this whole freaking album. So while this album does have some really god-awful cringy moments where you're just like, why did they decide to make this a song? Like why in production, why did they decide that this is it? Like whoever was mixing this like heard this and wasn't like, are you sure this is what you want to do? Even though there's a lot of moments like that, there is some really okay moments in the first track and the last track, Anxiety and Clarity, are really, honestly, they're not that bad of songs. They got a good message to them. The vocals aren't all that bad. You can kind of make it through it here and there. The music is pretty dang good. And honestly, throughout this entire album, the music isn't really that bad. Even some of the weird choices they do, like the hip hop stuff they do, the turntable things that they do, it kind of works. It doesn't sound bad at all. There's some cool, catchy riffs here and there. Nothing that really stands out. The guitar solos they're amazing. The guitar solo sounds so good. There's some really good phrasing in there, and they really tie the whole song together. And even when you're like, I hate this song, the guitar solo comes in, it turns you around. You start to enjoy it a little bit. So with all that said, I gotta give Closure by Attila a 3.1 out of 10. One thing I also enjoy about this album is the vulnerability of it and just how honest Franz is. Like in the song Viva Las Vegas, the incident that happens, there's like a fight that breaks out, and it just wasn't fun for him and the fans and the venue. And I think he says in the song that they're banned from there and he's just never coming back. And they're like, we're just never going to come back to Vegas again just because it was such a really bad experience. And in the song Anxiety, he talks about having a Xanax addiction, which is such a huge thing for celebrities and musicians. You get bars of Xanax, and in the past, dealing with anxiety, I've taken like maybe a third of a bar, maybe like a quarter of a bar, like maybe 2 or 3 times in my life, and that stuff is strong. I mean, you can feel it when you take it. And some of these guys are taking like 10 to 15 full bars a day. I mean, that's how they live, that's how they function to be able to do what they do. So I can't imagine the struggle that they face, especially in the song where he talks about how hard it is for him. So yeah, I do enjoy the vulnerability and just how honest and truthful he is, but I want to know what you guys think. If you've listened to Closure, go ahead and leave a comment below letting me know what you thought. If you haven't, go ahead and give a couple of these songs a listen and let me know what you would rate it. And if you enjoyed this review, don't forget to give it a like. If you hated this review and you're an Attila fan, feel free to give it a dislike and leave a comment below letting me know how much I suck. And also, don't forget to leave a comment letting me know what I should do a review on next for Request Wednesday. I encourage you to subscribe and ring the bell icon if you want to see more. Just help support me and my channel and what I do here. And I hope you guys all have a good rest of your day or night, whenever you happen to be watching this. And I'll talk to you guys next time. I was